What stupid rule did your mom make that destroyed your entire family? Brought my best friend Tyler home after school without asking first. We walked through the front door laughing about something from gym class. Mom was in the kitchen in her old bathrobe. No makeup, hair uncombed. She'd been sick all week with the flu. Tyler saw her and his eyes went wide for just a second. That's all it took. "Oh, hey, Mrs. Harrison," he said, trying to recover. Mom's face turned red. She crossed her arms over her bathrobe. Tyler left an hour later. I thought everything was fine. That night at dinner, Mom wouldn't look at me. "New rule," she said. "No friends are allowed in this house. Ever. And if anyone wants to see friends outside this house, they need to submit a written request 2 weeks in advance." Dad put down his fork. "What? I was humiliated today," Mom said. "That will never happen again." "You just looked sick," I said. "I looked embarrassing. This is my house. I deserve respect." We thought she'd cool off. She didn't. Dylan invited me to play basketball on Saturday. I asked Mom on Monday. She made me submit it in writing. She denied it. Request received too late. 2 weeks minimum. I started lying. Told Mom I was going to the library. Went to Dylan's house instead. My sister did the same. Said she had study group. Actually hung out with friends at the mall. We got away with it for 3 weeks. Then Mom called the school to verify my sister's study group. There was no study group. Mom was waiting at the kitchen table when we got home. "Where were you really?" she asked. We tried to lie. She already knew. "You violated my trust," Mom said. "Now the rule changes. You come straight home after school. No friends, no activities, nothing." The next week, my sister had a birthday party she'd been invited to for a month. With the new rule, she couldn't go. "Please," my sister begged. "I already RSVP'd. Should have thought about that before you lied," Mom said. My sister missed the party. Her friends stopped inviting her anywhere after that. Dylan's mom called our house. "Is everything okay? Dylan keeps inviting your son over, but he always says no. We're a private family," Mom told her. "Dylan stopped inviting me anywhere. His mom probably thought we were snobs. Same thing happened with my sister's friends. We became social ghosts. Dad tried to fix it. The kids are being isolated. This isn't healthy. They can see friends," Mom said. "They just need to plan ahead. Sarah, they have no friends left. That's dramatic." Then Dad's Monday night football tradition ended. His coworker had been coming over for 6 years. Dad had to turn him away at the door. "Sarah's new rule," Dad explained. "I need to submit a request." His coworker looked confused. He stopped coming. Stopped talking to Dad at work too. Dad submitted a written request to have him over. Mom denied it. Monday nights are family time now. Since when? Since now. Dad's other friends disappeared one by one. No one wants to jump through hoops to visit. Then came the emergency. Tyler's dad had a heart attack. Tyler called me crying. His mom was at the hospital. He was alone and terrified. "Can I come over?" he asked. I looked at Mom. "Tyler's dad is in the hospital. He needs—" Mom cut me off. "Did you submit a request? His dad is having a heart attack right now." "That's terrible, but rules are rules." I told Tyler I couldn't help him. I heard his voice crack before he hung up. Tyler never spoke to me again. His dad survived, but our friendship didn't. Dad overheard everything. That night, they fought in their bedroom. "His friend's father almost died," Dad said, "and you wouldn't let him come over." "I'm not running a crisis center. We have boundaries. You have issues," Dad snapped. "This is about your ego. About Tyler seeing you in a bathrobe one time. This is about respect. No, this is about control, and I'm done." The next morning, Dad's pillow was on the couch. 2 weeks later, Dad moved out. Didn't submit a written request. Just packed and left. Mom tried to enforce the rule on visitation. Wanted us to submit requests 2 weeks in advance to see Dad. The judge shut that down fast. "Mrs. Harrison, your rules are causing documented harm to your children. I'm awarding primary custody to their father. I live with Dad now. So does my sister. We have friends over all the time. No schedules, no requests. I drive past our old house sometimes. Mom still lives there alone. I called her last month to see if I could visit for her birthday. She said I needed to submit a written request. I haven't submitted one yet." What's the most inaccurate thing your child has ever been taught in school? My daughter's 6th grade geography teacher told her class the Great Wall of China is the only man-made structure visible from space. Even showed them a diagram with an astronaut looking down at it. Emma came home and asked if I'd ever seen it from my job. "Dad, have you spotted the Great Wall when you're looking at satellite pictures?" I work at NASA. I analyze satellite imagery for the Earth Observation Division. I've seen thousands of images from orbit. The Great Wall isn't visible in any of them. I explained this to Emma gently. Showed her some actual photos on my laptop. The wall is narrow, made of materials that blend with the terrain. You can't see it from space without serious magnification. She looked confused. But Mr. Hayes said it's the only structure astronauts can see. He said it's famous for that. I decided to email Mr. Hayes. Kept it friendly. Mentioned I work with satellite imagery and would love to do a quick presentation for Career Day. Share what we actually see from space. He replied the same day. That would be fantastic. The kids would love hearing from a real NASA employee. I showed up Thursday afternoon with my work tablet loaded with orbital photographs. 32 kids stared at me from desks covered in world map placemats and National Geographic stickers. Mr. Hayes introduced me with pride. "This is Emma's dad who works at NASA studying pictures from space." The class erupted in excited whispers. "I heard you guys learned about the Great Wall being visible from orbit," I said casually. "That's actually a really common myth." Mr. Hayes' smile froze on his face. I pulled up an image from the International Space Station. "This is China from 250 miles up. Can anyone spot the Great Wall?" The kids squinted at the screen. Silence. I zoomed in closer. "Here's where it is." I traced the location with my finger. "See? Nothing visible without magnification." "But our textbook has a whole chapter on it," a boy said. "It shows astronauts seeing it." I opened another file. "Here are photos from 12 different astronauts over 30 years. None show the Great Wall with naked eye visibility." I showed them each image. The kids were fascinated. One girl raised her hand. "So it's not true." Mr. Hayes cleared his throat loudly. "Well, I'm sure some astronauts have seen it." "Actually," I said, "astronauts have repeatedly stated they can't see it." I pulled up quotes from Chris Hadfield, Neil deGrasse Tyson's explanation, and NASA's official statement debunking the myth. Mr. Hayes' face went red. "This is getting a bit technical for 6th graders." I kept my voice friendly. "It's just important they know what's real. Myths like this make people distrust science later." Mr. Hayes stood up abruptly. "I think we need to transition to our next subject." "Thank you so much for coming, Mr. Torres," a boy in back called out. "What can we see from space then?" "City lights at night," I started to answer. "We really need to move on," Mr. Hayes interrupted. He walked me toward the door. In the hallway, he shut the door behind us. His voice dropped low. "Do you understand how embarrassing that was? To be corrected in front of my entire class?" "I wasn't trying to embarrass you," I said. "I thought you'd want accurate information. I've been teaching geography for 17 years. That textbook was approved by the district. You made me look incompetent. I just shared what the actual images show." His jaw clenched. "Next time, maybe discuss it with me privately first instead of undermining me me in my own classroom. Emma came home quiet that day. Mr. Hayes moved my seat away from my friends, she said, and he kept looking at me weird during social studies. 2 weeks later, Mr. Hayes announced a geography quiz. Question 8. What is the only man-made structure visible from space with the naked eye? Emma wrote, none. The Great Wall of China is not actually visible from space without magnification. He marked it wrong. Big red X. Wrote the correct answer. The Great Wall of China. She got a 72%. Came home crying. I looked at the quiz. Every other answer was perfect. I called Principal Morrison, requested a meeting, brought printouts of NASA's official statement, astronaut testimony, and peer-reviewed studies. Principal Morrison called in Mr. Hayes. When asked to explain, Mr. Hayes said, it's what's in the curriculum, what the textbook teaches. The kids need consistent information, but it's factually incorrect, Principal Morrison said. Long pause. It's what they'll see on standardized tests, Mr. Hayes finally said. My daughter is getting failing grades for writing facts, I said. Principal Morrison regraded Emma's quiz to 100%, required Mr. Hayes to send a correction email to all parents, ordered new textbooks for the following year. Last week, her friend asked her about the Great Wall. Emma looked around first, then whispered, it's not actually visible. How did you become a millionaire? 5 years ago, my best friend Marcus called me at 3 a.m. Dude, I need your help. Something bad happened. His voice was shaking. I'd never heard him like that before. I drove to his apartment. When he opened the door, his hands were covered in blood. My stomach dropped. Marcus, what did you do? He started crying. I didn't mean to. We were arguing and I pushed him and he fell and now he's not moving and I don't know what to do. I walked past him into the apartment. There was blood on the kitchen floor. A lot of it. My mind was racing. This was bad. This was really bad. Where is he? I whispered. Marcus pointed to the bathroom. I opened the door slowly. Empty. I checked the bedroom. Nothing. I turned around confused. Marcus, where's the body? That's when I saw his face change. Body? What body? I'm talking about my dog. He got hit by a car outside and I brought him in and there's so much blood and I think he's dying. I stared at him. Your dog? Yes, my dog. What did you think I was talking about? Relief flooded through me, then anger. You called me at 3 a.m. saying someone's not moving and your hands are covered in blood. What was I supposed to think? We rushed his dog to the emergency vet. $4,000 in surgery bills later, the dog survived. Marcus was broke. I loaned him the money. He promised to pay me back. He never did. 2 months later, Marcus called again. I need another favor. A big one. Don't ask questions. Just meet me at the warehouse on 5th Street. Midnight. Come alone. Every red flag went off in my head, but he was my best friend. I went. The warehouse was abandoned. Dark. I walked in calling his name. That's when I heard footsteps behind me. Multiple people. I spun around. Marcus was there with 3 other guys I'd never seen before. Marcus, what is this? He looked nervous. Listen, I need you to hold something for me. Just for a few weeks. Don't open it. Don't look inside. Just keep it in your garage. One of the guys handed me a duffel bag. It was heavy. Really heavy. I can't do this, I said. Whatever this is, I can't. Marcus grabbed my shoulder. Please, I'm in deep. If you don't help me, I'm done. These people don't mess around. I took the bag. I drove home. I didn't sleep. The bag sat in my garage for 3 days. I didn't open it. Every time I walked past it, my heart pounded. On day 4, I couldn't take it anymore. I unzipped it. Inside were notebooks. Hundreds of them. Filled with handwritten code. Pages and pages of algorithms, diagrams, formulas. At the bottom was a flash drive with a note. Don't let them find this. This is worth everything. I plugged in the flash drive. It was a program. Some kind of trading algorithm. I'm not a tech guy, but even I could see this was sophisticated. I called Marcus. No answer. I called again. Voicemail. I went to his apartment. Empty. Completely cleared out. That's when I got scared. Who was looking for this? What had Marcus gotten into? I spent 2 weeks trying to figure out what to do. Then I got curious. I ran the algorithm on my computer using free trading software with a fake $10,000 account. In 1 week, it turned that fake $10,000 into $47,000. I stared at the screen. This couldn't be real. I emptied my savings account. $8,000. Everything I had. I ran the algorithm with real money. 3 months later, I had $340,000. 6 months after that, $1.2 million. I never heard from Marcus again. I searched for him everywhere. Nothing. It's like he vanished. Last year, I finally found out the truth. Marcus didn't get into trouble with criminals. He was never in danger. He was a programmer who'd created the algorithm himself, but was under a non-compete agreement with his old company. He couldn't use it legally, so he gave it to me. Let me take all the risk and all the profit. Then he disappeared because he knew if anyone connected him to it, he'd be sued into oblivion. I became a millionaire using stolen code from my best friend, who manipulated me into thinking I was saving his life. I still have the algorithm. I still use it, and I still hate myself for it.
When my little sister asked me to braid her hair, I knew something was seriously wrong. My little sister Mira hated having her hair touched. Not the normal, don't mess it up kind. Hated it. Since she was 8, she'd scream if anyone came near her head. Slapped our mom's hand away during school picture day. Made our aunt cry when she tried to fix her ponytail at a wedding. Mira would rather go to school with bedhead than let anyone touch her hair, ever. So when I was 16 and she was 11, our parents had this massive blowout fight. Mira was terrified, hiding in my room. She asked what she should do if something was really wrong, but she couldn't say it where people might hear. I was trying to lighten the mood, so I said, easy, just ask me to braid your hair. You'd literally rather die than let anyone touch your head, so I'd know. She laughed so hard she snorted. We called it the hair protocol. For 6 years, every time I reached for her hair, she'd duck away. Our running joke. Mira's 17 now, junior year, started dating Blake about 8 months ago, 20 years old, works at the auto shop. We all liked him at first. Super polite, brought flowers, helped dad with oil changes, called our parents sir and ma'am. Even I thought he was sweet. First few months were good. Mira was glowing. Blake came to family dinners, laughed at dad's jokes, seemed great. Then small things shifted. Mira stopped posting online, said Blake thought social media was superficial, quit youth group, said it was their only time together, stopped doing newspaper, too stressed with college apps. By month 7, Mira was different, quieter, always on her phone, always texting. Blake was always around now, always picking her up, always dropping her off. Mom said young love was intense. Dad just wanted her home by curfew. Last Saturday, Mom planned a spa day, face masks and manicures. Blake dropped Mira off, said he'd be back in 2 hours. We set everything up. Mom was mixing cucumber masks. Mira was just sitting there, staring. Then she turned to me, really quiet. Can you braid my hair? Everything stopped. Mom didn't notice. I looked at Mira's face. She wouldn't look at me. My heart was pounding. I waited until Mom went to the kitchen. Bedroom. Now. Mira followed. I locked the door, turned on music, loud. Tell me. She started shaking. I can't. He'll know. Mira, the hair protocol. We promised. She pulled up her sleeve. Bruises. Finger-shaped bruises circling her forearm. What is he doing to you? He gets mad, says I disrespect him. Last week, I looked at the wrong guy. He squeezed until I cried, said I needed to learn. Then he apologized and said he loved me too much to control himself. How long? 2 months. At first just grabbing, then worse. Last week he choked me until I almost passed out. She touched her neck. That's not a curling iron burn, is it? She shook her head. He checks my phone daily, tracks my location, made me delete all guy friends. If I leave, he'll tell everyone I'm crazy. He'll hurt himself and blame me. Someone knocked. Girls, Blake's here. Mom's voice. Mira went white. I have to go. If I don't come out, he'll know something's wrong. You're not going with him. We walked out. Blake was in the living room, smiling. Ready, babe? Mira started toward him. I stepped between them. She's staying here tonight. Blake's smile stayed, but his eyes changed. We have plans. Plans are canceled. He looked at Mira. What's going on? She was frozen. Dad stood up. Is there a problem? Blake's jaw tightened. No problem. Mira, let's go. Actually, she's not going anywhere. I pulled up Mira's sleeve. Because of what you did to her. The room went silent. Mom gasped. Dad's face went red. Blake's eyes went cold. She's clumsy. Tell them, babe. Mira was shaking. She's a minor. You're 20. What you're doing is assault. You don't know what you're talking about. I know about the choking, the tracking, the threats, all of it. Blake pulled out his phone. Mira, we're leaving. Now. Dad stepped forward. You're not taking my daughter anywhere. Get out of my house. She's mine. She's 17 years old, and you're done. Blake looked at Mira one last time. You're all going to regret this. We filed a report that night. Showed the bruises, the texts, the tracking app. They arrested him 2 days later. Assault, strangulation, stalking. Looks like him and Diddy will get to know each other in the cell.
When did you finally realize someone close was just using you? I met Jake during my first semester of college. We clicked right away, bonding over our shared love of indie films and weird music nobody else seemed to appreciate. For 3 years, I considered him one of my closest friends. Jake always seemed to have some drama going on in his life. Car troubles, relationship issues, conflicts with roommates, money problems, you name it. When he called, I'd drop what I was doing to help. I drove him to job interviews when his car broke down. I let him crash on my couch for just a few days. That turned into 3 weeks when he fought with his roommate. I loaned him money for rent twice. I noticed he only texted when he needed something, but I brushed it off. Some people just aren't good at keeping in touch, right? Our hangouts became increasingly one-sided discussions about his problems. If I brought up my own issues, he'd listen briefly before steering the conversation back to himself. Last month, my apartment flooded after a pipe burst. I lost most of my stuff and needed a place to stay. I called Jake, thinking he'd return the favor without hesitation. He didn't answer. I texted explaining my situation, and hours later got back. That sucks, man. Wish I could help, but things are tight right now. The next day, I saw his Instagram story. He was at a concert with tickets I knew cost over $100. When I saw those images of him smiling with his other friends while I was sleeping in my car, something clicked. I scrolled through our text history and saw 3 years of messages that began with, "Hey man, hate to ask, but," or "I'm in a bind." I never heard from Jake again after I stopped responding to his requests. Not a single, "How are you doing?" 3 years of friendship evaporated the moment I stopped being useful.
Have you ever had a near-death experience? I was standing on the bridge railing when my phone rang. 2:47 a.m. The wind was brutal. My hands were shaking so badly, I almost dropped it into the water below. Unknown number. I stared at the screen. Who calls at 2:47 in the morning? I don't know why I answered. Maybe I wanted one last human connection before I did it. Maybe some part of me was looking for a reason not to jump. Hello? Please don't do it. A woman's voice, calm but urgent. I know you're there. I know what you're about to do. My blood went cold. Who is this? How did you? It doesn't matter how I know. Just please, step down from the railing. Please. I looked around the empty bridge. No cars, no pedestrians, nobody who could have seen me climb up here. Are you watching me? Did someone send you? No, I need you to trust me. What you're feeling right now, this isn't permanent. I promise you it gets better. I laughed bitterly. You don't know anything about me. You failed your CPA exam for the 3rd time last week. Your boyfriend left you 2 months ago. Your mom hasn't called you back in 6 days because she's too wrapped up in your sister's wedding planning to notice you're falling apart. I nearly dropped the phone. How do you know that? Your cat's name is Buttons. You hate your job at the accounting firm, but you're terrified to quit. You've been eating the same sad turkey sandwich for lunch every day because you can't bring yourself to care anymore. You started sleeping in your car in the work parking lot some nights because your apartment feels too empty. Tears were streaming down my face. Who are you? Someone who cares. Someone who knows you're stronger than you think. I'm not strong. I'm barely holding on. I know, but you will hold on. You're going to step down from that railing. You're going to go home. And tomorrow is going to be hard. And the day after that, but you're going to make it. We talked for an hour. She knew everything. My childhood dog's name, the embarrassing thing that happened at my 8th grade dance, my secret dream of opening a bookstore someday. She talked me through every fear, every pain, every reason I thought I couldn't go on. By the time I climbed down, the sun was starting to rise. Thank you, I whispered. I don't know who you are, but you saved my life tonight. You saved your own life. You chose to answer. You chose to listen. You chose to step down. The call ended. I stared at my phone, at the unknown number on my screen. I tried to call it back immediately. It rang once, then disconnected. A robotic voice. The number you have dialed is not in service. I stood there on the bridge as early morning traffic started picking up, feeling confused and grateful and utterly exhausted. That was 10 years ago. A lot has changed since then. I quit the accounting firm, went back to school, opened my bookstore 3 years ago. It's small, but it's mine. I'm married now, happy. Some days are still hard, but I made it through, just like she said I would. Last week, my cell provider went out of business, totally bankrupt, shutting down all services. I had to get a new number, new carrier, the whole thing. The lady at the phone store asked if I wanted to keep my old number or get assigned a new one. I'll take a new one, I said. Fresh start. She handed me the paperwork. I glanced at my new number and my stomach dropped. I knew that number. I'd seen it before, burned into my memory from the worst night of my life. The number I'd tried to call back 100 times that first year. The number that was never in service. My hands started shaking as I pulled up my old call logs. I'd screenshot that night years ago, afraid I'd lose the only proof someone had cared enough to save me. There it was, the unknown number from 10 years ago. The exact same number I'd just been assigned. My new number. I stood in that phone store, staring at the digits, and suddenly everything made sense. The woman on the phone that night wasn't some stranger. It was